Hey, what's up? Welcome to the 3-Day Quest adventure. Enrich your life experience, stay in shape, and get things done. I'm Tini, course creator and writer with a background in nutrition and teaching, and I'm all about practical tips and strategies. And what's more practical than going on an adventure to discover yourself and stay in action, doing things your way, making it fun too. So today's topic, I tried intermittent fasting for 3 days. Here are the 19 lessons I've learned. And before I get to the lessons, I don't like skipping breakfast. So I chose to start eating at 8 a.m. and stop eating at 4 p.m. I fasted between 4 p.m. and 8 a.m. for 3 days, obviously. And between 4 p.m. and 8 a.m., you know the rules, water, coffee, and tea while fasting. But obviously, I did not have any coffee, but we'll talk about that. So, the first lesson, don't go into a fast after having smoothies or fruits. Not a good idea, because you're going to feel excessively hungry. Lesson number 2, accountability and partners are the key to success. Yep, if you have someone that you can partner with, that can keep you accountable, you keep them accountable, well, you have an extra activity to do and you're not going to feel like you want to give up. Lesson number 3, if you start this on a weekend, so you fast intermittently during the weekend, well, the rest of the week will seem like a breeze because most of your activities take place during the week, right? Well, obviously, this lesson works for you if you don't work on the weekends. So you just chill on the weekends and it's gonna feel like, what can I do? But when you start your week, you're going to feel like, I'm doing all these things, intermittent fasting, come on, bring it on. I'm gonna do it all my life. That's because there are more temptations during the weekend and maybe indulging opportunities as well, because there are days off and we sometimes want to reward ourselves for being so good during the week. Next, lesson number 4, brush your teeth. What else is there left to do? And I actually remember when I was, in high school, I think, or college, I can't really remember. I was doing this diet. I was on a diet, a 14-day diet, and I was eating so little, and I wasn't allowed to chew gum or anything. And I went on holiday, and I really wanted to chew gum because, fresh breath and everything. But I wasn't allowed to, so I had to brush my teeth, and I brushed my teeth the entire day almost. So that was really fun. So brush your teeth if you feel hungry and then maybe go to sleep. I don't know. So the cool thing about the 3-day quest concept is that you are going to learn different things because you're different and your experience is going to be different. But you might learn the same things that I did. So yeah, you want to keep these in mind. If you don't know what to do and if you feel excessively hungry or you want fresh breath, brush your teeth. Okay, lesson number 5. Drink water out of funny bottles or tall glasses. This is what I did and I found them extremely exciting and helpful. And even water shots to make it more interesting. You might even get a buzz, who knows? And why not a cup of tea? It's really helpful. It's tasty and it takes a bit of time to do. It's kind of like a ritual and you feel like an important person. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. So, yeah, I told you, obviously, since I chose to fast in the second part of the day, I did not have any coffee because I didn't need it. I was going to go to sleep eventually. Lesson number 6, keep yourself busy. And I can't stress this enough, but well, not all the time, because I'm going to share something really cool with you. The thing is that not having anything to do and not having a clear direction is one of our biggest enemies. Because what do? We might just turn to food just because we're choosing not to have any food, right? So we're going to go for the thing that we're not allowing ourselves to have. Okay, so keep yourself busy. Lesson number 7. It did help that I did a 3-day quest beforehand to eat in the kitchen. So I chose the kitchen as my preferred room to eat in, and that helped me because it minimized the amount of times I would eat in front of the TV. So as I was doing intermittent fasting, I was able to relax and watch TV or movie, whatever it was, without feeling the need to snack on something. Lesson number 8. Probably not a good idea to cook when you're fasting, but hey, some of us need to cook for others too. So why not practice it? If you can avoid cooking and if you can cook beforehand some meals or some ingredients that you then combine and put together, that would be awesome. But it's fine. That's what I've learned. Lesson number 9. Strategies to consider. Brushing your teeth, as I told you, and keeping yourself busy. Go through an online course, learn something, learn a new skill, try something out. Maybe you like, I don't know, painting and you want to do it. Go do it. Read something or create. And honestly, it can also help to connect with other people and motivate each other. You know, we talked about accountability and partnering, but keep yourself busy, and these are the strategies to consider. These are the strategies that I used. Lesson number 10. Temptations are always there. And if you see them as temptations, they will always be there because you see them. You perceive them as temptations. But if you see them as something you can have the next day, then you know that they are going to be there the next day. For instance, if you feel the need to eat a donut and you're fasting, well, obviously you don't want to have it, but you don't want to miss out. Still, you can tell yourself that that donut is going to be there the next day. So when you start eating, you can have that donut. Well, I don't know why I mentioned donuts because, you know, donuts, not my thing. I don't really eat them. But I just mentioned them. Maybe you just want to eat a banana or an apple or something like that. It's going to be there the next day. Okay? Don't worry. And if you are afraid that someone else is going to eat that food that you want to eat the next day, make sure that doesn't happen. Put it away, hide it, find a place for it. Right, lesson number 11. You need to be comfortable with doing nothing. You know, we talked about this, doing nothing, watching TV, watching a movie or something like that, or just sitting still. Comfortable with yourself, something that I find we rarely practice. Well, meditation brings in some of that awareness and stuff, but how many of us really do it? I mean, the idea of meditation is really cool, but if you think about it, we don't do it as often. Well, I don't do it as often. I can't really speak for you guys, but you get it. So being comfortable, and it's a really cool feeling when you do that. And you're not going to believe anyone else telling you this unless you try it out for yourself. Lesson number 12. It's important to eat enough during the 8 hours. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention, I just tried intermittent fasting because I was curious about it. I did not have a goal related to weight or something like that. So what I did was I actually ate enough. Just the right amount of food that I really needed. And the danger here is if you eat what you're supposed to, let's say, so you eat enough in those 8 hours, but you then suddenly decide to forget about intermittent fasting and let it go and stop, and you want to eat after that eating period, and so on, well, you will probably end up overeating. So if you've made that decision to stick to intermittent fasting for 3 days, then go ahead and do it and learn something from it. So just go with it for the 3 days, take your learnings, don't do it again if it's not your thing, but 3 days is not a lot, guys, and you can do anything for 3 days. Okay, next one. Lesson number 13. Yes, I'm a bit hungry. So I was hungry at some point, but I was choosing to do something else. I was working on something and I started to think about things. Is it really hunger, or is it that I was used to having something to eat in the evening and it was like a habit? And I started to think about that because I didn't need the food. I was eating enough in that eating period. So why was I thinking about hunger? Well, probably because it was a habit and I really had enough energy. And by the way, if you're fasting in the second part of the day as I did, well, you don't need that much food in the evening because you're going to go to sleep, right? So that's what I told myself. And actually something that I realized afterwards, so this is not necessarily something that I learned during those 3 days, but it's something that I learned after. And it's that there is also pleasure in feeling hungry. And I'm not saying this because I want you to go ahead and starve yourself. No, don't do that. It's not cool. But there is some type of pleasure that we feel when we are hungry because we get to become aware of that feeling. And it's cool to see that we are aware of our feelings and how they feel, and we get in touch with those feelings. So that's the cool part. Lesson number 14. Intermittent fasting teaches us how to distinguish between hunger and habitual eating. So kind of like what I said in the previous lesson, but a bit more specific. So it does teach you when you're really hungry and when you're not. Because it's so easy to go and say, oh, I'm hungry. And that's a thought. So you don't feel it, but you kind of see, it's 3 o'clock. Maybe I should eat something. Haven't eaten for a while. So it's a really cool thing if you can do it, if you can go ahead and do this quest, because you're going to learn a lot about how to distinguish between real hunger and other types of hunger. Lesson number 15. Time passes by slower, so you have more of it. So yeah, it's gonna feel like, okay, what's the time? When can I eat again? And yeah, you get this time to work on whatever it is that you want to work on. So go ahead and use it. Lesson number 16. Sitting in bed, trying to figure out this feeling. And this is kind of like an extension of being okay, being comfortable with yourself doing nothing. I was trying to figure out what that feeling was. It was calm, complete relaxation, wondering why I haven't done this before. I can see now what the hype is all about. And these are actually things that I wrote as I was going through the 3-day quest. So I'm not talking from memory. Well, sometimes I am because I'm sharing extra examples, but most of these lessons are written down. And oh my God, I cannot tell you how amazing it feels to discover so many things about yourself in just 3 days. Right, lesson number 17. Unfortunately, no intention means no action. Things don't just happen. Well, they do sometimes, but you and I need to make things happen. So if we want to fast for 3 days, we go ahead and do it, and we make sure we do it and set things in motion. We do all the things that we need to do, and that's it. But if I went on this 3-day quest, it doesn't mean that you have already gone through that 3-day quest. So I'm not doing it for you. Nobody else is doing it for me. We also need to take action on the things that we learn. Right. Lesson number 18. Knowing that I'm fasting in the evening also makes me more accountable to prepare food during the day so that I can enjoy freshly prepared meals and then freely embrace the fasting time frame by being productive. So I know that I'm fasting, so I'm setting things in motion, doing all the things so that I can focus on something else when I'm fasting, so that I don't just focus on the fasting, because it doesn't work that way. Lesson number 19, and this is the final one. Usually when I know I can eat whenever, my mind probably sends a signal to my stomach to empty its contents faster because there is more food to come. And this is an interesting insight that I had. So I was thinking, I am fasting, right? So my body knows I'm fasting, and it's not going to send those signals. It's going to use the food that I gave it to properly nourish my body until the next time I intend to eat. So yeah, these are the lessons that I've learned. And the funny thing about the 3-day quest concept is that you can do the quests over and over again to learn something new and never get bored. And if you try one out, let me know how it went. Check out my book collection on this topic and choose your own adventure. Just between us, there's only one book available on this topic at the time I'm recording this episode, but there are more to come. So the book that I'm talking about is called Weight Loss Quests, Stay in Shape While Working from Home. And the cool thing about this is not just about weight loss, it's also about lifestyle, about productivity, about keeping things fun, keeping things fresh, and yeah, all the good things. So that's it. That's what I've learned from trying intermittent fasting for 3 days. I'm gonna come in here with another 3-day quest and what I've learned, and maybe I'll inspire you guys to try this concept out because it's going to blow your mind. Until next time, stay inspired, have fun, over and out.